What's snapping, rowdy turtles? Welcome back to Monkey Boys Toys, and welcome back to the sofa. Thanks very much for joining me again. Here's a blueberry to look at. Now I thought I would take a break from toys this week and just show some retro reading material that I've picked up recently and have also kindly been gifted. So let's remove the blueberry from the shot and we'll bring in the first item. Now this is the Supergirl storybook based on the 1984 film starring Helen Slater. There she is. Now this was very kindly gifted to me by Lewis over at Reading Movies. He spotted this out in the wild and he knew I was a big Supergirl fan, so he picked this up for me, which was really very kind of him. It's your usual storybook fare, full of shots from the film, some great shots and some other shots that you do wonder why they included them. Let's see if we can find an example of a peculiar shot. This one, for example, that's a bit of a strange shot. You can't really work out what's going on. This was often the case with 80s storybooks. You would find that a lot of the pictures, or not a lot necessarily, but certainly some of the pictures that they used in the storybooks were quite peculiar choices. Here we've got someone sitting in a digger. And we've got a picture here, which I can see that it's a picture of Supergirl, flying. But essentially that's a shot of a pylon, isn't it? So yeah, bizarre. But a great storybook. Obviously the story is very much abridged, just to sort of hit the key points. But it's a great thing to have, and some of the images in here are really good. I would argue that reading the storybook of Supergirl is probably better than watching the film. There's Peter O'Toole, the irritation that is Peter O'Toole. So yeah, he's very, very annoying in this film. But they've got a great image there of Helen Slater in the Supergirl outfit. So that's really cool. Thank you, Lewis. I really appreciate that. I am a big fan of Supergirl, and I didn't have this in the collection, and this displays really well. It's in great condition. This was written by Wendy Andrews in 1984. It was published by Hippo Books, which were also part of Scholastic. It does have a remainder mark on the top of the book here, as you can see, which suggests that this maybe didn't sell very well in the UK. I'm not sure. But yeah, so some information there about the book that Lewis has provided as well, which was very kind. We'll pop that off to the back for now. I'll pop that there. Now, some other items that Lewis very kindly picked up for me, again that he found out in the wild, were these. Now he picked up two of these books for me, and the third one I picked up on eBay. Now these are the real Ghostbusters books that are based on some of the cartoon episodes. Now these were written by Kenneth Harper, and they were published in 1988. Now Kenneth Harper is the pseudonym of Keith Miles, who was a writer of many pseudonyms. He mainly wrote historical and mystery fiction, and he also wrote the 8 Mask novelisations that are available. I might pop a picture up of those if I can find one online. But yes, he also wrote the Mask novelisations. Now there were three books in this series, so I now have the complete series of these books. Number 1 was called Janine's Genie. Now this was based on episode 12 of the cartoon. Number 2 is called Ghosts Are Us, and this was actually based on the first episode of the cartoon. And the third one is called Slimer Come Home, and this was based on episode 4 of the cartoon. So they're presented slightly out of order, but they're really nice. And it actually goes to show you how popular the real Ghostbusters was back in the day, because all these books have this really excellent, really effective foil design on the front, reflective foil design. Now this is quite expensive to produce on books. So it goes to show that they were confident that these books would sell very well, and they do look really, really good. They're in very good condition for the age, and I'm really happy to have these in the collection. So thank you so much, Lewis. I really do appreciate that. If we just flick through some of them, they've got loads of artwork inside. Almost on every other page there is artwork in them. So these are excellent for young people. And yeah, I'm really happy to have these in the collection. They're going to look really, really nice on display. As I say, the foil on them is really cool, as you can see. It gives a really nice effect. So I'm really happy to have those. Thank you so much, Lewis. That's really kind of you. And thanks to Lewis also for providing some of the information about the books that I've just given. If you want to see some videos concerning movie novelizations, I can highly recommend Lewis's channel, Reading Movies. He looks at film novelizations from the 80s, 90s through to some modern day films, and it's really a very good watch. So I'll leave some links in the description. Do go along and check out Lewis's channel for some more entertainment. Right, moving on. You may remember last week I showed the A-Team annual. This one here, in fact, that I have since discovered is from 1985. So thank you to everyone that let me know what year that was from. And I thought I would pick up the other annuals as well in the series. So here I've got the 1986 annual, with the guys looking particularly orange on the front there. It's different on the back. We've got Mr. T squinting there, showing us his hairy armpits, and a picture of what appears to be Mr. T throttling Hannibal. So yeah, this is in pretty good condition, this book. Got some great images on the inside covers there. Some nice artwork. Again, we've got some good images of the A-Team as well. Colour images of them. These stories were obviously quite simple, but they're a fairly good read, especially for a young person. I mean, I don't know if I will be reading these, if I'm honest. Lovely picture of Murdoch there. I assume that's Murdoch talking to a mop. Yes, I possibly won't be reading all of these, but they're certainly nice to flick through, and they're nice things to have. Very reminiscent of the 80s. George Peppard there. So yeah, cool. So that's the 1986 annual. Let's pop that to the back. Let's just move these books over just a little bit. And the next one I picked up was the 1987 annual. A nice image there of Mr. T firing what looks to be at the ground. So yeah, there we go. This one has got an interesting inscription in the inside cover. It says, "Wearest Warling Whim, Wappy 19th Worthday, Watts of Wove, Welly, and Janet." So there we go. But I'm not too worried that it's got that inscription in. I suppose that's quite a nice thing to see. I would have preferred a nice minty copy, but nevertheless, that's you've got the inscription to "Wearest Warling Whim" inside. There we go. There's another image of Hannibal firing what appears to be an incredibly powerful weapon there. Mr. T, BA, looking slightly apprehensive there, as if he's not quite sure what's going on. But some great artwork in these. The comic strips are obviously a lot simpler. And then we have the full colour images from the show of the characters. This picture particularly amused me. We've got Hannibal sticking the barrel of his gun into the nostril of a bad guy. So that's quite an interesting image. I'll leave that there for a second for you to appreciate. So yeah, some kind of weird puppet item here being what appears to be shot to bits. So yeah, a dog with a grenade in his mouth. Brilliant. Fantastic. Someone's anus being blown to bits. Oh, that looks like it could be Murdoch. Yeah, so that's all his innards being blown. Oh no, it's a telephone. There we go. Well, it looks at first glance to be a completely exploded rectum, doesn't it? We've got some more people with guns being pointed in their faces. The A-Team did a lot of pointing of guns into people's faces, but they didn't ever blow anyone's face off, did they? In fact, I don't think they ever hit anyone in all 5 seasons of the show. It was bizarre like that. They fired a lot of rounds, but never actually hit anyone. But that's cool. So there we go. That's the 87 annual. Next I picked up, can you guess? Yes, it's the 88 annual. We've got Mr. T there, or BA, looking particularly pleased with himself. In fact, they're all looking quite pleased with themselves, aren't they? Now, I've also got two characters down here that I don't really remember. I remember this guy. He was in a lot of 80s TV. I don't specifically remember him from the A-Team. Well, maybe peripherally. I certainly don't remember this guy. But he's been... Oh, a great image there on the inside of BA, Hannibal and Face. Murdoch is presumably flying the helicopter in the background there. So yeah, again, we've got some good artwork inside. Some of the artwork is actually really very good indeed, like this one. Some time was really taken on these. Yeah, this is a guy I don't remember, and I'm not sure why he's sharing the limelight with Murdoch, so perhaps someone can remind me who that guy was. I don't really think I can be bothered to go back and look it up. So there's some kind of, I guess, Italian-looking guy, but I don't remember him from the show. He was clearly involved in some respect because he's been put into the annual. Nice image there of BA again. So yeah, usual stuff. Here we go. This is I don't know who that is, but there's a great picture of him. This is that guy that was in everything in the 80s. Is that, presumably is that an actual gorilla? It does look like there's an actual gorilla there. Bizarre. He's throwing Murdoch about, it looks like. Yeah. Murdoch riding a contraption, flying a contraption. Yeah. I presume that's Hannibal wearing a false moustache. I'm not entirely sure, I haven't read the story. But I mean, look at that, that's some fantastic artwork. They certainly went to a lot of trouble to produce some decent artwork. Here we've got two more random people. This guy's everywhere. He was obviously very popular in 1988. So yeah, there we go. There's the 88 annual. Now, there wasn't an annual in 1989 or 1990. The next one was 1991, which I have here. So that's bizarre. I don't know why there was a 2-year hiatus. And then this was produced by Marvel Books in 91, and it's in a slightly different size. As you can see, it's slightly taller than the other ones, and ever so slightly thinner. Now, this is very... the comic strip style is very different, or quite different, to the previous annuals. So the artwork is a little different. Unfortunately, this copy that I had, that I picked up, has got the word search completed in it, which is a shame. And it's been done in pen, so I can't erase any pencil marks. It's been done in red pen there, which is a bit of a shame. But otherwise, the book is in great condition. And for the price, I was happy with it. I wasn't going to grumble about the word search being done. But as you can see, it's mainly cartoon strips or comic strips. There are not many colour photos from the TV series in this. There are a few, but not so much. So yeah, there we go. There's the 1991 A-Team annual. Now, there was something I just wanted to point out on the 1985 annual, which I spotted. If we flip to the back, there is a game that can be played with very little instructions, so I guess it's quite loose and free how you play the game. But there was just one thing I wanted to point out, which was this. Who on earth is Sue? We've got Amy Allen on the front, and then we've got Sue. So if anyone can tell me who Sue is, that would be brilliant. Anyway, there we go. There's my pickups for this week. Once again, a massive thank you to Lewis over at Reading Movies for the Ghostbusters books and the Supergirl storybook. I'm really happy to have those in the collection, and they're going to display really well. So thanks again. I really do appreciate you picking those up for me. It was very thoughtful and kind. Head over to Reading Movies and check out his videos about movie novelisations. It's a great channel. Check it out. But I think that's about it for this week. So I'm going to make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here. See you later. Bye.